Well, hey, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Burford Field here on the campus of Lindsay High School. We get set to kick off the 2025-2026 football season, and it is Meet the Leopards here tonight at Burford Field. And
before we get started this evening, if you are
we're hooked up here so we can make sure all of our stuff works, and it's working too good. My name is Greg Peary. Glad you joined us for tonight. This is really just a chance for us to get to see the football players, the band, the cheerleaders, and kind of get ready to kick off this football season alongside my partner Andrew Lyon. Andrew, good to be working with you again.
Glad to be back, Greg.
Yeah. Going to be a good season. It'll be a lot of fun. We'll get to talk about that here a little bit, and of course we'll introduce all of the players and the band, the cheerleaders, all that as we go through here. But just a couple of minutes to get started. J.D. Scruggs back with us running the live stream again this year, and Kevin Scruggs on the camera. And we'll before I go any further, this is a very special day.
It is,
because today is Kevin Scruggs' birthday. And in honor of his birthday, I'm going to sing happy birthday. No, I'm not. I promise.
Thank goodness. I thought you were serious.
So we got to also mention Glenn Shoemake. Glenn, our prayers are out with you, buddy. I know Glenn just had some pretty major surgery last week, and he's recuperating at home. I texted with him this week, a couple of days ago, and he's taking it easy and keeping his pain under control, so we're glad to hear things are going well. We wish a very speedy recovery for Glenn as he recovers at home, and, of course, he's also a big part of this broadcast team as well.
You bet. Hopefully we'll have him back for the coaches show each week.
Exactly. So we'll keep you up to date as that goes. But, again, Meet the Leopards tonight. Looks like the Pride of Lindsay getting set up down here on the track. Maybe get to hear from them before we do anything. But we'll see. We can't open the windows here in the press box so that we can get any of the ambient sound from out there. So you'll have to just put up with Andrew and I talking to you all night long. But we do this tonight, Andrew. Get a chance to kind of see this, but talk about the Leopard football team. Next week they go to Sulphur, get to scrimmage, a really good Sulphur team. Yep. There's no doubt that those guys are good down there. We may talk about them a little bit here too, but and then kick off the season at Pauls Valley in 2 weeks. So it's here. School started, I guess, today or yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday.
And we're ready to roll with the season just in 2 weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. It always seems like a little bit of a whirlwind. I've got kids going in and getting them back into school, and then boom, it's football season. It's time to rock and roll. So,
well, we got Michael Holden over on the PA. Let's see if we can bring him in, and then maybe we can pick up what he's announcing here on the overhead.
HS cheer table. Tonight, we would like to take this opportunity to introduce to you the teams that help us create our Friday night lights. Tradition and spirit, that's what the Pride of Lindsay brings to Burford Field every night. The Lindsay Marching Band is a vital part of our traditions we hold dear. From walking down the halls and spreading excitement into the hearts of our little Leopards and district to our halftime performance that wow our spectators. They hype the crowd, make the cheer girls dance, and then, of course, our Leopard fight song takes over the atmosphere and excitement of the game. Tonight, we are proud to introduce to you the 2025 Pride of Lindsay. We'll begin first with the Pride of Lindsay 8th graders. At Siri Balon Bravo, Shiley Childers, Mila Fink, Olivia Howell, Lydia Ince, Hunter Landis, Allison Morris, Carson Mottinger, Swayze Ross, and Levi Tate. Now move on to our freshman band members, Savannah Bray, Cadence Clegg, Dalen Cooper, Miguel Flores, Anthony Guerrera, Dylan Raines, Brenna McDonald, Abby Walker, Jacelyn Watson, Paisley Wood, sophomore band members, Taylor Doan, Jaden Drury, Alexis Gregg, Kylie Largent, and Jackson Wilkins. That's the Jackson Wilkins. Junior band members, Ryder Bailey Lowe, Jordan Beauchamp, Rebecca Grissom, Charlotte King, Aubrey Marceau, Cadence Reed, and Jaden Tate. And now for the seniors of the Pride of Lindsay, Charlie Doughton, Corey Oldham, AJ Winningham, and Chris White. And your 2025 drum major is senior Alondra Lopez. The Pride of Lindsay is led by their head director, Shelby Lamb, and assistant director, Stephen Watson. Thank you, Pride of Lindsay, and good luck to you in competition this year. And now, for the girls that lead and encourage and celebrate every victory with their team and feel every loss, your 2025 Lindsay Varsity Cheer Team. Our 2025 and 2026 cheer team, starting with freshmen, Kinsey Rutledge, Grayley White, Mia Marquez, Baylor Doan, Presley Gomez, who is playing softball right now with the Leopards, and juniors, Hallie Thornburg, J.C. Anderson, Delaney Rutledge, Jaqueline Kurth. I'm just kidding, it's Jacqueline Kurth. Sorry, I was put up to that. And home run hitter Addison Dotson is also on the cheer team, but she is with the Leopardettes softball tonight. Sophomores, Avery Bates, Caitlin Tate, Abby Dodson, Kendall Hines, Leticia Marquez, London Wilson, Jada Martin, and Autumn Trammell. And now for your seniors, Brooklyn Bunch, Shelby Quinn, Alana Ford, and Lainey Martin. Senior Brecken Klein, who is leading the Leopardettes in softball. The girls are going to perform some new chants tonight, and they want to encourage you to join in. This year, the LHS cheer team wants to rock the stands.
Greg Peary and Andrew Lyon back here is, again, we wish we could hear the cheerleaders and the band down there. We're unable to open the windows here in the press box, and so you'll have to take our word for it. They're doing a great job down there. But
they can see them.
They can see them and have to listen to us talk. But Andrew, first of all, Leopards go 5-6 last season.
Mm-hmm.
Had that tough loss at Jones, but you look at the great things they did last year, and even though you lose some quality seniors, you only lose 4 seniors off the team from last season.
Absolutely. A lot of good returners this year. Some young guys who got a lot of PT last year that'll have another year under their belt. Man, I think, and from talking to the coaches, I know everybody's feeling like we're in a better spot now than we were this time last year, a year before, as far as personnel goes. I'm very excited to see what these guys can do. I think it's going to be a good season.
I do. I mean, you bring back your starting quarterback, your starting running backs. You got some tough guys coming in that have had a lot of experience in the last 2 years. They're going to be seniors now this year, and I'm with you. I'm excited to see what these guys put together, and I think it'll be with the experience gained last year. The expectations are going to be really high for these guys.
Yeah, for sure. And, hey, I just want to mention what a backfield we're going to have this year with Dutton Taylor and Crew Flood.
Crew Flood.
My mind wasn't working there. Another year under the belt for Crew. Dutton's been a tough runner for a few years now. I think that's a 1-2 punch that's going to be tough to beat in this district.
Agreed. All right. Well, here come the Lindsay Leopards football team, and we'll go back to Michael Holden on the PA.
Freshman Hudson Harris. Senior Aiden Beck. Senior Tug Fought. Freshman Hutch Simonton. Senior Gus Torres. Junior Will Lawrence. Junior Eli Curry. Senior Memphis Smith. Freshman Easton Brake. Junior Carter Price. Freshman Maddox Albright. Sophomore Crew Flood. Senior Silas Mahan. Junior Jamie Sanchez. Sophomore Kyle Griffin. Junior Holden Thornburg. Freshman Doc Lively. Sophomore Riker McCulley. Senior Manny Aguero. Freshman Christian Burns. Freshman Bodie Broussard. Freshman Easton Allison. Freshman Aiden Self. Freshman Jackson Jones. Junior Coden Cordell. Junior Alan Gonzalez. Senior Caven Hunter. Freshman Knox Medillin. Junior Cody Franklin. Senior Keegan Gibson. Junior Scott Jones. Freshman Ethan King. Junior Kason Grace. Junior Logan Gutzmer. Freshman Julian Beauchamp. Sophomore Reese Wallace. Senior Leo Estrada. Freshman Hayden Butler. Junior Quade Robbins. Freshman Jackson Henry. Senior Maxon Simonton. Junior Jimo Hernandez. Senior Jacob Stolhan. Freshman Titus Emery. Sophomore Zachary McKee. Junior, Tommy Aguirre. Sophomore, Gabe Jordan. Senior, Caleb Snow. Senior, Dennis Degring. Freshman, Rawson Codio. And the managers for the Leopards. Senior, Moxie Albright. Senior, Natalie Cottrell. Senior, Kennedy Douglas. And Senior, Paisley Spivey. Junior, Hallie Jones. Junior, Ella Tolman. Sophomore, Marley Inman. Sophomore, Jewel Bridwell. Freshman, Ava Thomas. Freshman, Lorelai Howe. Our video filmers, Jackson Lawrence. And now with your Leopard coaches, assistants, Stephen Merrill. I guess you're not going to run out, Coach? Brandon Turner. Cody Weaver. Caleb Hall. Jackson Stephen. Tyler Sharp. And the head coach of the Leopards, Coach Sam Hembry. Faith Family Football. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your 2025 Lindsay Leopards. As we end tonight, we would certainly like to cordially invite you to the practice field for the annual inter-squad scrimmage with our Little League Leopards.
All right, there you have the 2025 Lindsay Leopard football team, pride of Lindsay, and of course, Lindsay cheer, and all of those are vital to the Friday Night Lights here at Lindsay High School, and exciting to get this thing underway and get this season going. And again, it's, you heard Michael say they'll head over to the practice field across the way and have a inter-squad scrimmage. They're going to have the Little League over there with them. That'll be a lot of fun for those guys to get in there and mix it up with the varsity. But,
absolutely.
So, again, just as we kind of wrap this up too, but looking at the schedule and what the Leopards have got facing them this year, again, a 6-5 season last year. I think I misquoted. I said 5-6 a while ago. It was 6-5 last year. But, again, ran into Jones there at the end of the season, who, of course, was a dynamite football team as
Absolutely.
well. But if you look at what the Leopards have got coming up this year, of course, they go to Sulphur next week for scrimmage.
Yep.
I was talking with I spent a little time trying to look up some stuff on some of these teams, but I'm glad we don't have to face Sulphur in the regular season. I mean, Sulphur last year lost to Lincoln Christian by 1 point in the state finals in Class 3A. But they've got a kid over there by the name of Maddox Mobley that is absolutely unreal. He's committed to go to Navy next year. And but that kid, for his career, 399 carries, 2,655 yards, 38 touchdowns. Whew. So for his career, he's averaging 6.5 yards a carry, almost 18 yards a reception, and he's got 54 touchdowns, and he's just now a senior. And you go back and look at their schedule from last year, and he didn't play. I think the numbers I read was he didn't even play half the quarters because they won by such huge margins in their games that he didn't even play half the time. So I can imagine what his numbers would have been. But they'll probably get to see him in the scrimmage next week when they go down to Sulphur for that. But the Leopards, again, will be on the road to open up the season. They'll travel to Pauls Valley on the 29th and kick things off down there. Pauls Valley, 8-4 last year, lost to Lincoln Christian, that team that ended up being the state champion 3A. But then Purcell had a really down season last season, just 3-7. So you know they're going to be bouncing back. But we get to play them at home this year,
right.
And so we'll get those two in before we have our bye. And then We get Atoka. They had another down season last year, so they're going to be coming back this year. We'll get Atoka back here at home on the 19th after that bye week. Then we take that final non-district game against another powerhouse team in the Marlow Outlaws, who, of course, lost in overtime in the semifinals against Millwood, who ended up winning the state championship, or losing the state championship, to the other team we get to play at the end of the season, the Washington Warriors. So when you talk about those teams, you look at the play. We play Marlow, and we play Washington, and, of course, you're going to play the Crossings Christian, who is typically a really good team. And I know last year was not a great season for them. They went 5-5 before Millwood knocked them out in the first round of the playoffs. But so again, in our district, you've got Atoka, Dixon, Lexington, Marietta, Crossings, Little Axe, and Washington. So, I mean, it's a good district, but, again, the Leopards have really got some high expectations with the fact that, you won most of those games last year. I mean, you lose to Washington and you lose to Jones in the finals, and then the three non-district games were 3 of your 5 losses.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think you got to be the fact that you went through your district, and the only team you lost to in district was Washington. So you got to be happy with what they accomplished last year, and know that you bring back nearly everybody, and you bring up some guys that were freshmen last year that are going to add to this team too.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to make a few assumptions here, just talking about personnel, but we already mentioned a few of them. Isaac Cameron coming back at QB. He's a smart kid, an athletic kid. We expect him to do nothing but get better and better and better every year. Dutton, Taylor, Crew, Flood in the backfield. Those guys, Crew was a monster last year.
Oh, absolutely.
I wouldn't say that it was a surprise. We know he's an athletic kid, but the way he performed last year, I think, was beyond everybody's expectation.
And just as a freshman last
year. As a freshman last year. So he's going to be a beast. If not this year, my goodness, he's going to be. But I expect him to be one already this year, because last year was fantastic. Great backfield. Again, let me talk about some of the wideouts. We got Will Lawrence, who I think did a phenomenal job last year. Didn't throw to him a ton. When they did, he caught the football and usually got some yards after catch out of it as well. So I look for him to get the football more. And Manuel Aguero's back. We call him Manny. And that's exciting. We didn't have him last year. Of course, we got the job done without him, but he's an asset. If he comes back in here and performs like he had in the past, then we expect him to make a big impact. But the Hog Mollies up front, we're returning a whole bunch of them, man. We got Caven Hunter, Keegan Gibson. My goodness, he's a grown man. He's looking like a beast. Scott Jones, Maxon Simonton. We're expecting him to be healthy to start the season this year.
Yep.
He was a big loss early on last year. Dennis Deggering, just a monster of a man. We expect him to be even better. And then Caleb, the Snowman Snow, was getting it done all year last year. Good, steady lineman. Just looking through the whole thing, obviously there's some spots I missed in there. I don't know who those guys are going to be filling those spots. But, again, talking to the coaches, they feel like they've got ones and twos that even the twos this year are looking as good as we looked. The starters looked this time last year. So, of course, this time of year we try all not to get our hopes up just too much yet. We got to see some action on the field.
Right.
We'll see what happens next week at Sulphur. That's a tough test, but a very good way to test your football program right off the get-go and get them into some good speed and face some strong guys right off the get-go, and then roll right into our regular schedule.
I agree. And I'll throw a couple other names at you that, and again, I know there's some of these guys that, it'll just depend on how they go. Riker McCulley did a great job last year as a wide receiver. Tug Fott did a great job as well. You look over on the defensive side, Aiden Beck, great back there in the
Aiden
backfield.
had some great games, absolutely.
And Eli Curry. So, you've got a bunch of those guys that had great seasons last season that are coming back with that extra experience now. And again, I'm excited to see what these guys put together for the season. And the coaching staff, these guys know what they're doing. So it's going to be fun.
And let me apologize if I left somebody off of the list that I was rambling. I'm going by memory and just quickly looking off a list. So certainly don't mean to leave anybody out who's in the running for a starting position. But made a few assumptions there. We'll see if that lines up.
All we can do is say, hey, this is who we saw last year.
Yeah.
And this is how they played last year. But, hey, again, this competition's tough down here. So you get some of those guys that will come in and fight hard and work themselves up into the starting spot. So, again, I'm excited to see what they do, and we'll get the season underway officially in 2 weeks on the road at Pauls Valley. But don't forget, next Friday night they'll be over at Sulphur, and they'll do the scrimmage over there. I think they're going to start that at 7 o'clock, if I saw right. So make sure you make the trip down to Sulphur if you can. Check out the Leopards as they go down there for that. And then we'll be back on the road at Pauls Valley for the official start of the season on the 29th in 2 weeks. So with that, they've all headed over to do the scrimmage. Everybody's kind of headed that way, so we're going to wrap it up here. But, Andrew, I'm excited to get going.
Me too, man. Ready. Chomping at the bit.
I'm going. JD did a great job on the live stream. Again, this is more just so we can hook everything up. We all kind of went to that same way. So now, where do we hook this up? How does this go? Do I actually wear this headset? What do I do?
Amazing how a few months makes us forget so many things. We're getting old.
Yeah, we are getting. I am for sure. I said I had to stop 3 times coming up the stairs for the press box. So. But appreciate it, those of you that hung out with us tonight while we kind of did our practice and our warm-up to get ready for the season as well. But JD, Kevin, for Andrew, my name is Greg Peary. We're going to say goodnight from Burford Field, and we'll be back in 2 weeks on the road at Pauls Valley to get the 2025 season underway officially. So as we say goodbye, I'll say remember that whatever you do, always be a good sport.